Hi, it's Michael Senoff with Michael Senoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. The title of this interview is called My 4-Step Plan for Success and Other Tips from HardToFindSeminars.com. When I was asked to be one of the first interviews for a new website on interviewing, of course I agreed. It's free publicity for me, and if it helps me even get one person to learn a new skill, then it's worth it. And I'm glad I decided to do it because Norman asked me about topics I've never covered before, including the most important piece of marketing advice I can think of for success. Unfortunately, there is no magic pill you can take to succeed, but there is a proven plan you can follow. And in this interview, you'll hear exactly what my plan is. You'll also learn why it's important to pick a topic you're interested in for audio interviews and how to fake it if you're not. Why you should have a mission and purpose on how to use it in your marketing. You'll learn all about the marketing for the music industry, how to increase your credibility, separate yourself from your competition, and know when to use direct sales. You'll learn tips for getting traffic to your site and how I learned my SEO lesson the hard way when I lost my listing on Google. You'll learn a few shortcuts to success, how to beat out the competition in a highly saturated market, how to make the most out of your joint ventures, and how to market to other people's lists. You'll learn why I say time is the most precious commodity and 2 websites that will help you get some of that back. You'll learn what interviews are the most memorable for me and whether or not I keep in touch with any of my interviewees, and much, much more. Look, the most important thing you can do to be successful is get off your butt and start putting this information to use. Norman is doing just that, and in this audio interview, you'll hear just how easy and successful a first interview can be. Now let's get going.
Well, Michael, I'm very privileged to be speaking with you today, and I read from your website that you rarely do interviews. So I must have got something right when I approached you for an interview. This is relevant to anyone wishing to interview successful business people, etc. What made you agree to do the interview with me, and is there any additional advice you can give to enable people to obtain interviews from busy, successful entrepreneurs?
Well, it's real simple. You know, you did the most important thing that any student who's thinking about doing interviews, you just opened up your mouth and you asked. And you're never going to get anything unless you ask for it. I think we were emailing back and forth, and you told me something about what you were doing. You showed me your site. You said you're going to start an interview site, and would I do an interview? I just said, why not? Because why do people do interviews? Am I doing it to be a nice guy? Maybe, but most likely not. People give interviews because they're promoting something. When people go on Oprah or any of the talk shows or any of the news shows, they're promoting their book, they're promoting a new movie, they're promoting a play, they're promoting themselves as an expert. And the reason I said yes is, first of all, I need to start doing more interviews because I need to, like anybody, be doing more marketing and promotion. And even though I may be your first interview for your site, you know, you're just getting started. Who knows? You could be the next huge interview site. And I don't know how well you're going to do, but I'm banking you're going to do pretty well, and you're going to get that interview out to a lot of people that would never know about me. And by having that interview out to people that I would have never gotten it out to, that's promotion for me. That's free advertising for me. I just have to spend some time on the phone with you now and answer some questions. But that interview that you and I have done is going to work for you, and it's going to work for me ongoing because it'll be passed around on the internet. Hopefully it'll be listened to and downloaded. So I'm doing it really for a selfish reason, just like anyone who does an interview. It's a self-serving thing. They want free advertising. That is the bottom line why people are doing interviews.
Right, okay. Well, that's fantastic. I wish everyone adopted that sort of approach. So anyway, there's an enormous amount of fantastic information on your website. I read through your biography. But for those who don't yet know you, can you please tell us about your educational background and what you consider to be your natural talent?
My educational background, I graduated high school in Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. And then I went to the University of Alabama, and University of Alabama was a school I got into because my grades weren't good enough to get into the University of Georgia. And I did graduate from the University of Alabama with a major in marketing and a minor in advertising, ironically. But the marketing and advertising I learned there really was nothing like the stuff you're going to learn in the real world, the stuff that I've been studying for, over the years. But college was great. It was a party school. I was in a fraternity. It was a lot of fun. But other than that, that's all my formal education. But really soon after that, I started getting into personal development and motivational cassette tapes back then. And I've listened to, Brian Tracy. I was really interested in learning how to sell. I studied the classics from a guy named Zig Ziglar. The stuff that a big company called Nightingale Conant, they're the leading company in the United States for educational cassette tapes. So I was always into learning from other experts. And if one goes to my site, hardtofindseminars.com, they'll see that I've never lost that desire to learn. But that's all my formal education. And I guess what would my natural talent be? I think when it comes to what I'm doing now, the natural talent would probably be being able to listen, being a good listener, and being curious, and being really interested in the people I interview, and really dig and ask for good questions. Just being thirsty for knowledge.
Right, yeah, you're obviously a very sociable person with great communicative skills. So I suppose it's natural that you drew yourself into this interviewing business.
Yeah, but if you think about it, anyone who's interested in something, if there's something you really want and you're interested in it, let's say you meet a new musician who does piano in a different style you never knew about, you're going to be excited, you're going to be interested, you're going to ask him questions. So I'm not doing anything unnatural that anyone else doesn't do already. The listeners are just catching it, they're just listening to me be normal, and we're just happen to be capturing it, as a digital audio recording. We can share it. So everything I'm doing is just natural. When you listen to, I guess, a good interview, some of the best ones are going to be the stuff that I'm most interested in.
Yeah, because you naturally show your enthusiasm. It comes out in the conversation. This is what makes the conversation very exciting.
That's right. So when you're doing interviews, and when your listeners, if they ever think about doing interviews, it's real important, if you're going to be doing this, to find something you're really interested in and find something that you're passionate about learning, so that natural curiosity comes through. Because your listeners, if they hear you just going through the motions and it's boring, they may listen to you for 10 minutes or so, but if you're not into it, they can pick that up and they won't listen to you again. Hi, it's Michael Senoff with HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching this video. Many of my interviews last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes even up to 2.5 hours long. They're actual mini seminars, and you've just listened to a short sample of just one of over 117 hours of exciting, hard-hitting, mind-blowing interviews on how to make money in direct mail, advertising, copywriting. I assure you, there is not a resource anywhere on the internet or on the planet that comes close to the free information I provide at hardtofindseminars.com. So go right now to hardtofindseminars.com, and you'll have free access to 117 hours of audio interviews with typed word-for-word downloadable transcripts and downloadable MP3 files. Please browse some more of the videos or go right directly to hardtofindseminars.com. Thanks for watching.